The year is 1803. Europe stands on the brink of chaos. The French Revolution has reshaped the continent, and in its wake, one man has risen above all: Napoleon Bonaparte. A military genius, a visionary ruler, and an unstoppable force. But how did a Corsican artillery officer become the most feared leader in Europe? And how did his dreams of an empire come crashing down in one of the most brutal conflicts in history, the Napoleonic Wars? The origins of war, how it all began. The seeds of war were sown in the aftermath of the French Revolution, 1789-1799. The revolution overthrew the monarchy, sending shockwaves across Europe. The old ruling powers, Britain, Austria, Russia, and Prussia, feared that revolutionary ideas would spread. France, now under Napoleon's leadership, was seen as a dangerous threat. In 1803, tensions reached a boiling point. The United Kingdom declared war on France, setting off a chain reaction that would engulf the continent in nearly 12 years of bloodshed. The conquests of Napoleon, a man who couldn't be stopped. From 1804 to 1812, Napoleon was unstoppable. His Grande Armée, the most disciplined and powerful force in Europe, crushed enemies with revolutionary warfare tactics. He outmaneuvered coalitions, winning a string of legendary battles. First Battle of Austerlitz, 1805. Napoleon's masterpiece, he lured the Austrian and Russian armies into a trap, destroying them in a single day. Second Battle of Jena, Austerlitz. Prussia's mighty army was shattered, leaving Berlin open to Napoleon. Battle of Friedland, 1807. Russia, battered and humiliated, was forced into an uneasy peace. By 1807, Napoleon had redrawn the map of Europe. He crowned himself Emperor of the French and King of Italy, placing his family on thrones across the continent. France controlled most of Western and Central Europe, but his hunger for power knew no bounds. The beginning of the end. But even the greatest conquerors make mistakes, and for Napoleon, hubris became his downfall. The Peninsular War, 1814, invaded Spain and Portugal, aiming to control the Iberian Peninsula. The people rose against him in a brutal guerrilla war, backed by Britain's Duke of Wellington. This war drained French resources and marked Napoleon's first major setback. The Russian invasion in 1812, the greatest disaster in military history. In 1812, Napoleon made a fatal mistake. He invaded Russia with 600,000 men. He expected a swift victory. Instead, he faced the Russian winter and the brutal, scorched earth tactics of Tsar Alexander V. By the time he retreated, fewer than 1,000 French soldiers survived. This shattered Napoleon's invincibility. The final battles, the fall of an empire. The defeat in Russia encouraged Napoleon's enemies. Britain, Prussia, Austria, and Russia formed the Sixth Coalition. Napoleon fought desperately to hold on, but in 1813, at the Battle of Leipzig, he suffered his biggest defeat. The Allies marched into Paris in 1814, forcing him to abdicate. He was exiled to Elba, but Napoleon wasn't done yet. The 100 Days and the final stand at Waterloo. In 1815, Napoleon escaped Elba and returned to France in an event that shocked the world. The French people rallied behind him, and for 100 days he was back in power. But his last stand came at Waterloo, where Duke of Wellington and Prussian forces finally crushed him. Napoleon was exiled again, this time to St. Helena, a remote island where he spent his final years. In 1821, he died, leaving behind a legacy of conquest, ambition, and revolution. Casualties and the impact of the war. Over 6 million soldiers and civilians died. Europe was forever changed. Monarchy struggled, nationalism rose, and warfare evolved. The Napoleonic Code influenced modern law worldwide. Conclusion: the legacy of Napoleon. Napoleon was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary who reshaped Europe. His wars changed history, and his tactics are still studied in military academies today. But was he a hero or a tyrant? Did his ambition drive Europe into war, or was he a leader ahead of his time? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic historical deep dives.